On a weekly basis, Jim, how much practice is somebody putting in? Twice a week, 3 times a week?
Well, we have formal rehearsal once a week.
Okay.
And that's at St. Greg's Church in Dorchester, down the basement. Father Dan has been phenomenal to this band. Great guy. And once a week in the basement there from 7 to about 10 o'clock, sometimes a little bit later. And then you're expected on your own. This is a bagpipe is a very unforgiving instrument. And if you put it down, you'll regress very, very rapidly. So between rehearsals, you've really got to practice and stay on top of it.
So at least 2 or 3 times a week just to kind of reinforce and remember what you've learned. So is it like anything? Anyone's ever, I mean, if you've never played before, but I mean, how tough is it? Is it just a completely foreign instrument?
It's a foreign instrument. Yeah. It really is. There's just tuning it alone. Yeah. I mean, you have to have finger coordination. Yeah. You have to be listening to. You're in a band, so you're listening to the pipe major. You're watching the pipe major's fingers and the beat of the drum. It's all in sync.
Wow, impressive stuff. All right, the uniform itself, I think, is pretty cool. And David, when you get a chance, buddy, throw some of that video up. But the uniforms themselves are pretty solid. What was the process involved in trying to figure out what the proper dress was? Because you guys, when folks see you, you look sharp.
Well, it was somewhat. We were not a Scottish band. Yeah. We're in a predominantly Irish area, in Boston. There's more Irish in Boston than in any other part of the United States per capita.
Good. I like that. Good factoid.
Absolutely. Well, and the Gaelic column, we're encompassing and all, but we wanted to be an Irish band. Yeah. About 80% of our music is Irish. So no tartan. Yeah. Solid navy blue. That was kind of an easy thing.
No tartan means what?
You'd have a pattern on your kilt.
Yep, I got you. So
no eyes on, no... solid navy blue kilt.
And if you look at the screen here, you see you guys coming up the street. Yep. So there's a solid blue, navy blue kilt.
Solid navy work shirt. Yep. Almost policeman's shirt with a tie. Very formal dress. Doesn't show our jackets, but they are derived on our honor guards jackets.
How about this? I got to say, I'm a big fan of the socks.
Yep, blue and white dicing, and with the spats, it's a very military look. Okay. So we didn't want anybody to mistake us when we're marching down the street. Right. You say, here comes the police.
Here come the guys from the Boston Police Department.
Yeah, absolutely.
Jimmy, I think we have a call.
Hello.
That sounds like a call to me. Caller, what's your name? Where are you from?
Hi, Jim from Dorchester. How you guys doing tonight?
Jim from Dorchester. We're doing great. What's your question, my friend?
For my question is a comment. I just want to thank these guys. I get the pleasure of every I won't say what night they practice at St. Mark's. Yep. But I get the pleasure of listening to them because I live right next door. Oh, I like and I hear them out here when they're practicing, and it's a real treat. And basically an honor to have them next door here. They do a great job.
And how do they sound, Jim? They sound pretty good?
Well, this practice makes perfect.
Well, do you have a question? Keep up the good work. Do you have a question, Jim, or just a comment?
Just a quick comment. How great they sound when they do sound. They sound good.
Awesome, buddy. That's good to know. Well, that's really good to know.
Yeah, that's great. That's great.
You're not angering
there's an objective neighbor, yeah.
Usually the loud music call is for, well, obviously loud music people don't like, but that's a good little thing to hear.
That's pretty good for right next door. Yeah. Every Monday night having to listen to us. So that's pretty good.
Jim from Dorchester, we appreciate the comment.
Thank you.
So just time spent in the uniform itself.
Well, that's pretty much it. The military look, the police look, the badge.
Is there something special?
Well, the badge is very similar to our Boston Police badge, with the exception is we use green inlay,
which is
not
cool.
to be distinguised between ours and navy blue police badge, and distinctly under where we have police officer, it says Boston Police Gaelic Hall.
Yeah, I've seen them.
And instead of a number, we have our origination date, 1992.
1992. So 1992. Wow. 2009. 15
We're
years.
Creeping up there.
15 years later.
Yeah.
Our 20th anniversary would be. Geez, when would that be? 2000.
It's creeping up.
Yeah, it's coming up quick. 2012.
Very
so quick. You put it together. how did you, was there anybody you spoke to, or where did you go to for guidance or advice about how to begin a band?
Well, New York, NYPD, Pipes and Drums, Emerald Society Pipes and Drums, they were very helpful. We copied their bylaws. Actually, interesting, Bob Quinn, former Attorney General. Bob Quinn was the lawyer who incorporated us and put our bylaws together. So he stepped in. He was great. Bob Quinn and former Senate President Bulger put together our first fundraiser and sang at our fundraiser.
Beautiful.
So we had a lot of
that
lot of
works.
Irish hands coming out of the woodwork to help us out when we first got started. But finding the instructors and finding the instruments, that was a search that I had to go out into the community and find out where I could go, and ended up over at the fire band asking them.
So the fire department has had a band for some time?
Yes.
So, but outside or prior to 1992, there was no Boston police, I shouldn't say Boston police, but police pipe band in New England?
Yeah, none.
Wow.
None. And down in New York City, you probably had 6. You had the sheriffs, you had the transit police, you had New York City Police, Emerald Society Pipes and Drums, and myriad of other in New Jersey and Bergen County, all had police bagpipe bands, but none in New England.
So you went to the fire department. What advice or guidance did they provide?
Well, they were...
Or did they provide some sort of incentive?
Yes, I would say an incentive. I was told by one of the pipers that, listen, kid, we all live together, work together, sleep together, and we play together. And you guys are all lone wolves. You get your keys and you all go out and you patrol in your districts, but I don't think you're going to be able to do it. And that was just all I needed to hear.
That's the kick in the butt I
better
needed.
believe it.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that.
Came right back and told all the guys that.
Yeah, right. There you go. Talking about bulletin board material, you can't get
No
much better
question
than
about
that.
it.
So when you first form the band, you start to practice, you get your instructors, you get your uniform, things are coming together. But the debut comes a little bit sooner than you guys had hoped because obviously of another tragedy.
Right.
Another officer killed in the line of duty. What happened
Tommy
there?
Rose.
Yep.
Was killed in the line of duty down in A1, and we were called out by the family, and we were really, we were getting uniforms literally overnighted, flown in, so that we could perform at that funeral. And
it was in February 19th, 1993, Tommy Rose shot and killed down at Area A1.
We had just been at it for probably 10 months, so we probably weren't quite ready, but we pulled it off. We had a Amazing Grace and a few other slow tunes, easy tunes that we were able to pull off for that funeral.
And I don't know how to ask the question, but I mean, obviously, it must mean so much to families to have you guys there because it does make such a difference to be there to pay tribute and to honor and respect the memory of a fallen officer. But how tough is that from your end? I mean, having to show up and...
It's brutal. Yeah. Sometimes it's brutal, especially when you're doing them we're up to 38 in the line of duty funerals in the last 17 years.
Wow.
Now that's not just in the greater Boston area, but we've been up in New Hampshire, performing up in New Hampshire and as far down as Rhode Island, Connecticut. Okay. So we've been all over New England performing at officers' funerals. It's a solemn duty, it's a serious duty, and it's our first duty. That's what
I was going to ask, in terms of priorities, it seems, just in reading some of the stuff, it's the respect and, like you said, the duty to the officers, that seems to be kind of the main reason for the band.
That was our beginning.
Yep.
And we never forgot it, and it's always been our nexus.
Now, how is the band today? As strong as ever?
As strong as ever. We've got a recruit class in, and they're coming up very fast, and we're looking good.
How many in the recruit class?
I think, well, you always start off...
We don't need numbers, but yeah.
You always start off big.
Yeah.
You start off with big numbers, 25,
Yeah.
and you whittle your way down, and you hope you get 8 out of the 25.